Hey, I wants me Goyle.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who are you?
Popeye the Sailor.
Excellent! Say what again?
Popeye the Sailor is a cartoon character that originated in the newspaper comic Thimble Theater, created by E.C. Seeger. The comic itself would first be published in 1919, but the character Popeye wouldn't appear until 1929. Initially appearing as a minor character, he proved to be popular enough with readers that he would return again and again. By the early 1930s, Popeye would completely take over the strip, effectively erasing the main cast and stealing the main character's girlfriend, Olive Oyl, in the process. His inclusion would also bring several other additions to the cast, such as Bluto, Popeye's rival and nemesis, and the hamburger-loving, financially irresponsible Wimpy. Popeye's popularity would eventually lead to a series of animated cartoons, bringing us to today's subject. To conclude our three-part public domain journey, we're going to look at one of the greatest animated shorts of all time, 1936's Popeye the Sailor meets Sindbad the Sailor. Popeye the Sailor meets Sindbad the Sailor, or as I'll refer to it from now on, Popeye meets Sindbad, is a 1936 cartoon from Paramount Pictures and Fleischer Studios. In addition to the classic Popeye shorts, the studio was known for characters such as Coco the Clown, Betty Boop, and other well-known faces of the era. They would also be responsible for the famous Superman cartoons of the 1940s. The short follows the same general plot of most Popeye cartoons, with Popeye and Bluto fighting for Olive Oyl's affections. In this cartoon, Bluto plays the role of Sindbad the Sailor. Sindbad makes quite the entrance, ruling an island filled with dangerous mythical creatures. He flexes his power over them with ease, taking us on a tour of his land, all the while singing a very catchy song about how badass he is.
Oh, the most remarkable, extraordinary fellow. Sindbad the Sailor. Oh, the most phenomenal, extra special kind of fellow. Sindbad the Sailor. I'm afraid of nobody under the sun. All I say is boo and my enemies run.
Sindbad is doing everything he can to let you know that he's the world's greatest adventurer, fighter, and above all, one bad dude.
Look at this monster so strong and so huge. He'd frighten King Kong, but he's only my stooge. The capture of Bula for me was just fun. Whoever said two heads were better than one?
His self-praise is interrupted when he hears a voice off in the distance.
Who's the most remarkable, extraordinary fellow?
It's Popeye the Sailor.
It's none other than Popeye, singing his own song about being the best. Popeye is joined by Olive Oyl and resident third wheel, Wimpy. Sindbad takes Popeye's boasts as a challenge to his status and sends the legendary Roc, a giant bird from Middle Eastern mythology, to attack the trio. Sindbad takes Olive Oyl for himself, while Popeye and Wimpy are left shipwrecked. Popeye sets off to challenge Sindbad, while Wimpy, being the madman that he is, attempts to murder a duck to make a burger.
Luncheon.
Wimpy's pretty useless. You just can't take this dude anywhere. He's the worst, but I kinda love him.
Fouled again. I must resort to my last hamburger. Oh.
As usual for Popeye cartoons, the sailor himself is incredibly strong at base level. He takes out Sindbad's various minions, such as the Roc and a two-headed giant, with little difficulty. However, Sindbad lives up to his boasts and is able to overpower the sailor, beating the ship out of him.
What do you like that?
But, as is tradition, Popeye downs his trusty can of spinach, giving him a ridiculous amount of power to get the upper hand. He kicks Sindbad's ass. The day is saved, and Popeye declares himself the strongest of all. Popeye Meets Sindbad is a truly legendary piece of cartoon history, featuring many of the trademarks of Fleischer Studios. One of these being very fluid and fast-paced animation. The fight between Popeye and Sindbad is great to watch and is one of the most satisfying cartoon beatings you'll ever see. They also use an interesting dubbing technique where voices are ad-libbed after the fact. This gives humorous and natural dialogue to scenes that would otherwise have none.
End of the line, everybody up. I don't like this place at all. Who are you?
Who am I?
You heard what I
Who
said.
am I?
That's what I said.
Why?
But above all, Popeye Meets Sindbad uses the Fleischer's special stereoptical process or setback tabletop technique. This is a unique animation process that, to put it simply, uses real crafted sets as backgrounds as opposed to hand-drawn pieces. This would be done by creating miniature sets and placing them on a turntable and photographing the animation cells over it. When the characters walk, the set is rotated. This adds a lot of depth and atmosphere to scenes, and it looks incredible. Popeye Meets Sindbad isn't the first cartoon by the studio to use this technique, but it's certainly one of the most impressive uses of it. Popeye Meets Sindbad would make its mark on history, serving as an inspiration to many. The most obvious modern example would be the Cuphead video game. Cuphead was inspired by many classic cartoons of the 30s, but primarily the works from Fleischer Studios. This can be seen in the Captain Brinybeard boss fight, whose design is clearly inspired by Bluto or Sindbad the Sailor. The game even uses the turntable method as well. In 2004, Popeye Meets Sindbad would be preserved in the National Film Registry for its importance and influence. Popeye was never my favorite cartoon character growing up. I wouldn't even put him in my top 10. He was never too big in my family either, and to directly quote my dad, Popeye sucks.
Popeye, breaking a mirror is 7 years bad luck.
Regardless of that, there's no denying that the character has left a huge impact on the world of animation, thanks to the studio that brought him to life. His cartoons may be formulaic, but those from his golden era would always deliver fantastic animation, taking the medium to new heights and leaving an impact on audiences with sheer entertainment value alone. Popeye has even left a mark on my own channel, giving me one of the best clips from my entire YouTube career. It's really cool.
That's pretty neat. I'll give
Oh my god, what the hell? He came out of nowhere!
Bro, I just got snuck. I just got fucking snuck, and we only had 3 lives.
Popeye the Sailor Meets Sindbad the Sailor is an undisputed masterpiece, a work of art, and one of the greatest cartoons of all time. Thanks to it being public domain, a high-definition version is readily available right here on YouTube. With it clocking in at less than 20 minutes, it's well worth your time. Definitely give it a watch if you've never seen it before. And at the end of the day, there's only one question left to ask.
Oh, the most remarkable, extraordinary fellow.
Sure!
Popeye the Sailor.